Hello, this is Annalisa from Faith Dream Create and welcome back to my channel. Today I have another Recycle With Me project, and in today's video I'm going to be recycling this wrapping paper from my daughter's birthday. I really loved the colors on here and the dots. It reminded me of rainbows and just had a really fun pattern, so I am going to go ahead and cut out different pieces, make it look like rainbows, just cut out the dots, get as much out of this paper as I can. I end up making about 10 cards from this wrapping paper, even though it's not a lot. So stick around to see the fun designs that I make. Some of them are very similar and others are different, but I will show you all of the cards I make at the end, and you will see the process as I create from this wrapping paper. I really love to be inspired by the things around me and bring them into my creativity and my card making and stretch my supplies and use my supplies with these recycled materials. It keeps things fresh, keeps your mind thinking outside the box. So I just kept cutting this down until there was no more to cut and getting it all ready to make all the cards. Like I said, I made 10, so I'm going to have lots of cards for a long time. And you could do any sentiments for this. I chose to do all hellos, but you could do happy birthday, thank you, baby cards, or whatever, you could do it. So this is a embossing folder that I have in my collection from Cuttlebug. I believe it is called Swiss Dots, and it was going to go perfectly with all of the dots from the wrapping paper and give a simple background effect. So I went ahead and ran this through my Big Shot machine 10 times for the background. You could definitely switch up the backgrounds and different elements in this as well, but I wanted to keep it simple and do it consistent. So once that was ready, I'm going ahead and inking up the edges just to bring in another element and make this panel stand out a little bit on the card base. And so I did this with all of the panels and then just played with the different pieces that I cut out from the wrapping paper and made sure that I just knew where I was going with it, how I wanted to add it, how many pieces did I want to add in. I really love the pieces that look like a rainbow. I think it's just so fun and how it makes that design. And then the other big ones kind of remind me of like a sound wave, and I use the word hello on all of them. So it was like, hello, the sound wave is coming. I was just playing with some of the different pieces. Do I want to add layers or stacks of these different dot elements and all of the colors? I made some simple, I made some a little bit more complicated. And then I had all of these little itty bitty pieces, and I was like, how am I going to arrange these? Do I want to make like an arch, or so I just kept playing with them until I was happy with it. It's like, how do I do this? Do I just stack them? So for that one, I just stacked it, but then I started playing and getting more creative with these pieces. I liked the idea of making my own rainbow or arches, but I wasn't loving how it looked. So I started playing around and putting them in the corners, and I really loved the varying effects of the different sizes on the corners. So I ended up doing a bunch of those cards and then adding the sentiment onto the middle of those cards. So now I'm ready to go ahead and adhere everything down, and as you can see, I am using the Nuvo Deluxe glue to get all of the pieces down, the recycled pieces, and then the card panels to the card bases. I loved that I could just mass produce a bunch of cards like this in a fun way and use some stuff up that would just be thrown into my recycling bin after like the party that we had for my daughter, and some relatives brought over some presents for her to bless her. But yeah, it's really fun to be able to use some of these elements in your card making, or you could use this in an art journal, or whatever way you craft. How can you go ahead and use some recycled materials that you might not always use in your crafting projects? So just adding that black edge to these cards before I adhere the card panel down. And this is just going to be me assembling all of the different cards. And I just love the process of this, and it's so cool that I was able to create so many of them in such a short time. Woohoo! Now I just need to give these cards out. Alrighty. I probably could have made a few more, but 10 cards was plenty, and I'm pretty sure I used up like all of the pieces that I cut out. It was my goal. How do I go ahead and use all of the pieces? And I will show you all of the cards at the end. I do not show you the process of me cutting out the sentiment, because the sentiment was the same throughout the whole cards, and this video is also quite long with just the process of cutting and gluing and designing the different pieces here and there. So you will just see them all completed in the end. This is the last voiceover that I am doing in advance. I have friends coming in for about a week for a holiday that I don't get to see a lot, and they're going to be staying with us. So I am doing a bunch of voiceovers in one go so that I can continue to share content on my channel while they are here. So yes, so hopefully you are inspired with this video and you can find some elements around you that may just end up in the recycling bin and get crafting with them. So here are all the different designs. Everything is glued down, and here is all of the designs with the hello die. This is the honeybee gather together die set from that. So yeah, you can see it looks like a sound wave, and I love the rainbow ones and just the patterned ones with the corner. So fun. So many cards from wrapping paper, a die set, and an embossing folder. And yeah, I had 10 cards, and I just love how different these cards are, how fun they are. I definitely love how these turned out. So if you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel for more card making videos and crafting videos here and there. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.